Today, you find the exiled yellow belly once again trying to find the ruins of Quarrendon Leys, which is literally a couple of minutes' drive from my house. And I tried to find it in one of my earlier episodes and failed miserably. Anyway, after finding a pretty weird story in what has pretty much become my Bible, Buckinghamshire Folktales by Terry Howie, she really has covered the whole of Buckinghamshire in a really well-researched, informative book. And so when I found this story about Quarrendon Leys, I knew it was time to try and find the ruins at last. This strange story is quite up to date. 1988, in fact. It was a hot summer evening, so John and his dog, Sheba, decided to pay a visit to their friend Richard and enjoy the last of the sunlight on Quarrendon Fields. It was about 10:15 p.m. and the sun was nearly set and the fields were covered in an orange glow. Sheba was happily running ahead and Richard and John were hanging back deep in conversation when all of a sudden Sheba came rocketing past them, running for home, ears flat, looking terrified. Both men shouted after her, but she just kept on going. Instinctively, they turned to look at the direction that Sheba had come from. And there it was. At first, the two men refused to believe what they were seeing. The dappled grey hindquarters of a horse, but as it raised itself up, there was the unmistakable torso of a man, not riding the horse, but melded into it. The men looked at the creature, terrified. All logic told them that this could not be a mythical creature stood there looking at them, and certainly not on a dog walker's route in Aylesbury, Buckinghamshire. The creature held them in its stare, and after a few seconds the men looked at each other, turned, and they legged it, not turning as they heard the thundering hooves behind them until they reached the road. They looked back, and sure they would not see the centaur, they were wrong. It stood, stared at them for a second, then disappeared into the trees. When they arrived home, Sheba was still shaking. John's wife asked what had happened, and at first she couldn't believe them. But after seeing the state the dog and the two men were in, she knew they must have seen something to scare them so badly. Neither man has ever ventured back to these fields. So what do you think of that? Sounds like something out of Harry Potter, doesn't it? It's probably a bit crowded today, but maybe I'll come back just as the sun is going down and see if I can catch a glimpse of the mythical beast. Well, I hope you enjoyed this story. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and maybe subscribe to the channel. It's completely free, and ding the little bell for notifications of further episodes. Thank you again for watching, and hopefully see you next time. Bye for now.